All right, so when looking at your problems that you work through, you do really good when you're able to use this formula, Q equals M times C times delta T. When you're able to use that formula in that form, you're doing really, really well because you don't have to rearrange. Where you're coming into problems is when you have to rearrange, like when you're solving for C, or which is specific heat, or mass. So your biggest problem is understanding the algebraic way of rearranging a formula. So if you're solving for C, you need to get C all by itself, okay? So when you're trying to get C all by itself, you're going to be using these three other ones. So what you can do it a couple different ways. What I have found is the easiest way is to rearrange it after you plug in the values. So if we're doing number one, okay, Q equals MC times delta T. That's the beginning, okay? Now, the question says a 15.75 gram of iron ore absorbs 1,086.76 joules of heat energy, and as temperature changes from 25 degrees Celsius to 175 degrees Celsius, calculate the specific heat capacity of the iron. Now, you did a great job on whatever the values were. So you know that Q is 186.75 joules. You know that mass is 15.75 grams. And you know that the delta T was 175 minus 25. You knew that, and you did a great job. Where your problem was is you knew you were solving for C, you just didn't rearrange the formula correctly. So let's just plug in these values. So Q is 1086.75. I'm not going to use the units just for space. Mass is 15.75. I want to put it in parentheses so I know that I'm keeping that separate. C is separate. And then delta T is 175 minus 25. All right, so that means 1086.75 is equal to C times 15.75 times whatever 175 minus 25, which is 150. Now you multiply those two numbers together, and those two numbers together is 2,362.5. All right? And now to get C all by itself, you have to divide both sides. You have to do the opposite. So since C is multiplied times that, you have to divide by it. So you divide both sides by 2362.5. And that gives you a value of 0.46 is equal to C. You see how that works out? Because that canceled out. And now you can rearrange it to be C is equal to 0.46 joules divided by grams times degrees Celsius. That's all you had to do. All right, bud? So go back and look at the ones I marked wrong and see if you can rearrange them, all right? If you need help, email me. All right, bye.